Hey, this is Casey Demchek. And you know what? No matter how advanced you get with your book marketing, copy, writing skills, sometimes you have to go back to the basics. And that's what we're going to do today. I've been a copywriter a long time, and I love going back to basic formulas that kind of create the foundation for writing good copy. And I'm going to share one of those formulas with you today called the 4S formula. And this is very simple. It's actually a real good formula for creating a structure for any marketing piece you create for your book, whether it's your back cover, website sales page, e-blasts, postcards, sales sheets, anything. It's a very basic structure, but if you follow it, it's going to get you about 70% of the way there to writing really good book marketing copy. So again, it's called the 4S formula. And to share it with you, we're going to go to my example board. So I am going to share my screen here real quick, and we'll get there. And there we are. Okay. Master the basics. This is the 4S structure formula. And again, this is something you can apply to any book marketing piece that you're creating. And I think you'll see why when I get to the particulars. So S number 1, simple words. Use simple words when you're writing your book marketing copy. Shoot for 1, 2, or 3 syllable words are great. Try to avoid trying to be too sophisticated with your language. Avoid using 4 or 5 syllable words. No one's ever going to complain that your copy is too easy to read. So try to keep your language relatively simple. Yes, you have to consider your audience and, the sophistication of your crowd. But again, no one's going to complain that your stuff's too easy to read. So try to think of simple words where you might normally put, longer 4 or 5 syllable words. It's just a good rule of thumb to follow. It makes it easier for people to read your copy. And when it's easier to read your copy, people engage with it more. And that's how you sell more books. S number 2, this is an important one, short sentences. Challenge yourself to stay within 15 words. And that's a big challenge for me. I tend to write longer sentences, and I always find myself having to tighten them up a little bit. So if you look at some of my writing examples that I show you in some of my videos, you might say, dude, that's longer than 15 words. But again, that's not a hardcore rule. It's just something I shoot for. The reason being, people tend to read marketing copy pretty quick. So they tend to look for the period. So when they start reading a sentence, they want to get their eyes kind of look for the period, and then they start the next sentence. If you make your sentence too long, people may not read the back half of it. I've read some eye studies and stuff like that. And when you think about when you read marketing copy, you tend to read it quickly. And if the sentence is too long, you kind of fade out on the back half of the sentence. So you want to challenge yourself to keep your sentences tight. And one way to do that in marketing copy, it's perfectly acceptable to start sentences with connecting words like and, but, or so. So if you have a longer sentence where you get a comma and then you go, and, you can consider putting a period there and starting the next sentence with the word and. It's okay to do that. Your 8th grade English teacher probably isn't going to read your marketing copy, so you can get away with doing that. Now, before I get to the 3rd S, I want to tell you how you can get a free ebook from me called 7 Must-Know Copywriting Secrets That Sell More Books. Just go to caseydemcheck.com/secrets. I love making these videos for you guys. But here's, you want to get your hands on this free ebook as well if you haven't already. It's about 18 pages, loaded it with 7 big tips, but within each of those tips, I got a bunch of little tips. So there's a lot in there. It's about 18 pages. Really cool to have within arm's reach when you're writing your book marketing copy. So I encourage you to get that. Again, there's the website on the screen, but if you go down into the description here on YouTube, I've got a link that will also take you to that ebook so that you can download it. Okay, let's get on to the 3rd S, short paragraphs. Again, this is something that you have to sneak by your 8th grade English teacher. Keep your paragraphs to just 1 or 2 sentences. Yes, even if you're continuing a thought, we're all taught if a paragraph is about one thought, you just have one paragraph. But with marketing copy, if a paragraph is too long, it looks kind of dark and chunky and hard to get through, and people might skip it. So make your write 1 or 2 lines and have a line break and continue on. That's always been important with marketing copy, but even more so now because people read so much marketing copy on their phone. So what may look like 1 or 2 lines on a computer screen, it's going to wrap around tighter on a phone. So it may look like 4 or 5 lines. So keep your paragraphs short. Again, it makes your copy easier to read. People will just glance at it, a short paragraph, they look much quicker and easier to read than a longer, dense paragraph. S number 4, short sections. It's not easy to say. Again, you want to have like a headline, a few lines of copy, 1 or 2 line paragraphs, but then break up your text with another subhead, a benefit-driven subhead or something that arouses curiosity. That really breaks up your copy. And if you've written a book, the inside of a book, people's minds are conditioned. If they open a book and they see a lot of copy on a page, they're used to that. They expect that with a book, but not with marketing copy. So you can't write your marketing copy as you would the inside of your book. So you want to break your copy up into short sentences, short paragraphs, and short sections. Okay, and you can break up those sections with subheads. That way, when people just look at your copy, it's going to look quick and easy to read. So if you combine, and again, I think you can see now how you can apply this structure to your back cover, website sales page, your e-blast. But if you follow this simple formula, it's a good foundation for creating any marketing piece you want to create for your book. So a real quick summary: simple words, 1 or 2 or 3 syllable words are great. Keep your sentences short. Shoot for 15 words or less. It's challenging, but just give it a try. If you go a little over, you're not going to get electrocuted or anything. Short paragraphs. Keep your copy to your paragraphs to 1 or 2 lines, because remember, line wraps are much tighter on a phone. And short sections. Break up your sections with subheads. That'll make a lot of white space within your copy. It makes it much more reader-friendly. And the more reader-friendly it looks, the more people are going to engage with it. And the more people who engage with your marketing copy, the more books you sell. And I mentioned this earlier, but yes, consider the sophistication of your audience, especially when it comes to, that 1 or 2 syllable word tip. If you have to use some industry jargon that people expect, go ahead and use it. And if some of those words are a little bigger, 4 or 5 syllable words, that's fine. Just as a rule of thumb, try to keep your copy simple, because no one's ever going to complain. I used to write a lot of medical marketing copy. So it was all directed to doctors, who went through medical school and all that. We still followed that, trying to keep it simple formula. And nobody ever complained the copy was too easy to read. So just use it as a guideline. But again, you want to consider the sophistication and education level of your audience. But as a rule of thumb, try to keep things short, tight, and concise. And lastly, you can do this. If, I say this a lot, if you've got the skills it takes to write a book, you can definitely write good book marketing copy. You just need to know the subtle nuances and inside secrets. And I think having this little simple structure that you can apply to all of your book marketing pieces is really going to help you out. So I hope this tip has been helpful for you. Again, I love simple copywriting formulas. I go back to them a lot. No matter how sophisticated or how advanced you get with your marketing copy skills, you always want to revisit some of these basics. They can really help you out. So I've got some other videos here on YouTube you can check out. I encourage you to do that. Got a lot of tips and information in there for you. Soak it all up and then take a lot of action and make things happen.